Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio. It's Thursday. I'm going to warn you, I have a fly in my studio here, so if you see me swatting at things, that's what's going on. You picked a great day to tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio. Let me tell you, call your friends. Send the show to your mom. Send your show to your sister, because I'm about to go off. Have you been watching the Senate committee hearing today with Bobby Kennedy Jr.? I'm sure you've caught a couple of clips. They're all over X. They're all over social media. And wow, I've got so much to share with you today. I am just like, oh my gosh. It's like the demons are clawing and just, gripping on to what's left, and they're not going down easily. But I mean, it's hard to watch because it's so obvious what's happening here. Their money is going away, and they are, they're fighting, they're fighting to hang on to their money bag. And they've probably got a lot of pressure from their representatives, right? The corporate representatives, the lobbyists, probably putting a lot of pressure on these politicians. You better get in there, and you better, they're trying to get him fired. They have, I guess, over 1,000 signatures. Whoop-dee. 1,000 signatures from the very corrupt agency that has contributed to the highest rate of disease in our country ever. Who cares? We have 1,000 signatures calling for Bobby's resignation. Yeah, who cares? There's millions of us out here, just holding our breath, cannot wait for him to accomplish what we want him to accomplish. Let's just, I've got a great show for you today. We're going to cover multiple clips from these Senate hearings and a couple of news stories. We have a great health topic for you today. The difference between vitamins, minerals, and herbs. Because as I work with you and as we get to know each other and, we spend time together on our weekly wellness workshops, I'm learning, that it's not that obvious to tell the difference between a vitamin, a mineral, and an herb. And so we're going to go over that. We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, we have a naturally inspired moment for you. And at 4:30, Bob Greska is going to be joining us from Greska's C60. So that's always fun to talk to Bob. You'll want to stay tuned and hear from him. So let's get going, though, because I have so much to say. I'm going to try to hold my temper back here because it's really staggering. The audacity of these, they're demon-like. That's all I can say. They had just saturated with evil. And they're clawing their way, trying to keep their money flow coming. Okay, let's start off. I have this clip to share with you first with RFK Jr. This is in the Senate hearing. And wow, this is staggering information. Take a listen to this.
This morning, I got the latest numbers from CDC that 76.4% of Americans now have a chronic disease. This is stunning. When my uncle was president, it was 11%. 1950, it was 3%. Today, it's 76.4%. 8 out of 10 of our kids cannot qualify for military service. This is a national security issue. When my uncle was president, we spent 0 on chronic disease. Today, we spend $1.3 trillion. It's the biggest cause, and it's increasing. And all of the arguments that Republicans and Democrats have about single payer, Obamacare, or with the various ways of allocate the health dollars. They're all like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. If we don't end this chronic disease, we are the sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC. They did not do their job. This was their job to keep us healthy.
Thank you,
And
Mr.
I need to fire some of those people to make sure this doesn't happen.
Whew, that is, I see it. 76% of Americans are sick with a chronic disease. 76. I mean, go outside. Go outside. Go to Walmart. Go on a trip like I just did for 5 days. And I'm looking around going, oh my gosh, we got so many problems here. It's not just obesity. It's not just obesity, although that is a major problem. You walk around, you see people struggling in pain. They aren't mobile. They're barely mobile. You know, they are medicated, highly medicated, to the point where it's almost hard to get through to them to communicate. I'm not exaggerating here. This is the experience as you make your way through America today. We have skin issues, right? I see psoriasis everywhere. I see edema everywhere, right? That's insulin resistance. I mean, I'm not saying this to point it out and make people feel shameful. I'm not saying it to make people feel bad, but holy cow, this is your wake-up call. This is your wake-up call. It is time. It is not your fault. You've been lied to. You've been told that you can't do anything about your health because, you know, it's your genes and your mama had it and your mama's mama had it and, you know, her mama had it. And it's just, you know, that's who we are. That's who we are in our family. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Lifestyle matters. What you put into your body programs your body for the results you experience. Epigenetics, we talked about it last night on the weekly wellness call. It is a real thing. Your environment matters. You've been told that it doesn't. Oh, you've got this set of genes. This is what's going to happen to you because it happened to everybody in our family and this is how it is. Lie. Utter lie. Second thing you've been conned into believing is that pharmaceuticals heal. They do not. Pharmaceuticals do not heal a damn thing. They cover things up. They can help you get out of pain because they numb you. They can act fast on the signal that your body is trying to relay to you. But is that really a good thing? Because every signal, which they call a symptom, is a communication coming from your body. When you have edema, that's a communication. When you have rashes on your skin, that's a communication. When you have psoriasis, that's a communication. When you have gut distress or gut dysfunction, that's a communication. And what pharma does is quiet the communication. Kind of scary when you think about it. You can no longer hear your body's communication. And so it has to scream louder. Means it gets worse. That's what you've been taught to believe, that pharma heals. It does not. Only the body heals. Only the body heals. You have to set the stage for healing. That means you have to nutrify. You have to move your body. You have to make sure your detox pathways are open and functioning. None of this stuff you've been told. Shut up and take your pills. That's what you've been told. Stay tuned. I've got so much to share with you today. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredраdio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturalinspiredradio.com.
Listen, if you don't want to reach out to me for whatever reason, I get it. Maybe you're shy. Maybe you feel shame about your current health results. That's a truth that happens for people. Maybe you're just embarrassed, or I don't know, whatever it is, you don't want to reach out to me. Then do this at the very least. Approach your doctor and tell them you want to get off your medications. You want to fix your health. Will you help me do that? Ask them. I'd like to lessen this medication, or I'd like to stop taking this medication. Will you help me do that? Ask them. And if they tell you no, it's not possible, then find another doctor. Here's what you do. Make it simple for yourself. You know, if you just can't bring yourself to be a part of the Naturally Inspired community, you should. It's easy, right? Super easy to do. But if you can't, then eat from this short list. Eat any kind of meat, right? Tons of different kinds of meat. Eat fruit, eat vegetables, eat eggs, eat fish, eat seafood, drink water, coffee, and tea. That's it. That's it. Walk every day. Get a walk in every single day. And sleep on a schedule. If you're having trouble sleeping, get up first thing in the morning and get outside. Get your eyeballs towards the sun. It'll help reset your circadian rhythm. Just that little equation right there is life-changing. Could turn the whole ship around for you. It's possible. We got a real problem here. For 76% of the population with a chronic illness. And these demons, I'm serious, they look like demons to me. Oh my gosh. Let's go to the next clip. This is Senator Wyden performing for pharma. Is this guy an actor? Because he's got all the things. Just watch. It'll make you want to puke. Listen.
Advisory panel has lost scientific credibility. After years, colleagues, we spent so much time not looking at this as Democrats and Republicans, but as good science and scientific credibility. And now the American Academy of Pediatrics has warned that the committee is being politicized at the expense of children's health. American Academy of Pediatrics, you think they're lying too?
I think the American Academy of Pediatrics is gravely conflicted. They get, their biggest contributors are the 4 largest vaccine makers. They run a journal, Pediatrics, which they make a lot of money on, that is completely dependent on pharmaceutical companies. So I wouldn't put a big stake in what they say that benefits pharmaceutical interests. Senator, I didn't politicize ACIP. I depoliticized it. The Congress has been investigating ACIP.
All over the country, Mr. Secretary, scientists and doctors are saying otherwise. They're all wrong, too. They're all lying, according to you.
The scientists and doctors are supporting me all over the country. There is division on opinion.
I don't get letters from thousands of people who are not political saying that this set of changes is going to damage American healthcare, and particularly these healthcare agencies, for decades to come. I don't get any letters from people saying, hey, this is going to make a big difference forever.
Maybe you're listening to a selective group of people.
Well, you get me.
Yeah, and I will.
Fine.
I will tell you what, Senator. I will put my mailbag against your mailbag any day of the week.
30 seconds.
I don't know, but Senator Wyden looks like he's been dropped on his head. That's what I will say. He is clearly there representing Big Pharma. His performance with his, you're going to tell me that the American Pediatrics is corrupt and that, they don't know. Yes, we are. Yes, we are telling you that. I told you. I said, this is what they're going to do. They no longer have capture over the CDC. They don't have it anymore. And by they, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the corporations. I'm talking about the globalists who are invested in the corporations. They have been operating off of a very convenient model. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would love for my business to be mandated into everybody's life. You have to sign up for Naturally Inspired. It's the law. Oh, you're going to lose your job if you don't sign up for it. I mean, how great is that for a business owner? Pharma has spent billions on lobbying over the years, right, to capture these people. And they are now the little puppet on display doing the work, trying to get pharma to be able to stay in its power position. It's not working because they don't have capture over the CDC anymore. He's fired. Bobby's fired tons of people. They're cleaning house. They're bringing in real science. And he knows their business model is cooked. It's not going to work anymore. So they are screaming, biting, clawing, trying to stay in a position of power. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to recondition the public that now the gold standard for guidance is these professional agencies. Oh, no, not the CDC anymore, but now it's going to be the American Pediatric Association. Completely funded by pharma. Their journals are completely funded by pharma. They take money in from professionals, right? Professionals are trained through what? The pharma model. The professionals that get compensated for vaccinating as many kids as they can in their practice. It's a system that doesn't work without the power on the regulations. And so that's why they're freaking out right now, because they're about to lose the control of the regulation, and they know it. It's hard to watch, though. Let me tell you, let's go to the next one. It really got heated in this hearing, by the way. Lots of shouting, lots of passion here. Listen to this one.
You can characterize it any way you want. I quoted them today. What I said was accurate. What you said were lies. You described people moving the Titanic.
Are you saying that the mRNA vaccine has never been associated with myocarditis or pericarditis in teenagers?
I am simply.
Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I am simply trying to say that the people that you have put on that panel, after firing the entire...
You're evading the question.
No, I'm asking the questions here,
You're
Mr.
evading
Kennedy.
that question.
I'm asking the questions,
I
Mr.
asked
Kennedy.
you a question.
I'm asking the questions for Mr. Kennedy on behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time in the history of that agency.
Never had the truth. You've never had the truth because corporations and government have been working together in lockstep to make sure that the whole system stays afloat. And this little performance here, the parents, the children, they deserve this, they deserve that. That's all strategy. I've read a meme that says, politicians are just ugly actors. And there's a lot of truth to that. They use the power of their performance to sway people, to capture people's emotions, to get people on their side. The most disgusting thing about this is that you cannot deny 76% of Americans have a chronic disease right now. We don't have enough kids that can qualify for the military. Do you really think this model is working? You think it's working? You're fighting to keep a model alive that is destroying us. Stay tuned, everybody. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I'm so glad you're here. We'll be right back.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty, they're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com jointrestore.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
I had no idea my birth control was behind so many of my symptoms I was dealing with. Tammy helped me uncover the connection, and once I made the change, everything started improving. That's from Brittany. That's what happens when you work in the naturally inspired community. You get connected to real information. Birth control is one of the major culprits to so many problems in women's health. And nobody ever considers it because it's something you go on when you're, young, and you stay on it, and you just think, oh, this thing's not doing anything to me. And then all of a sudden you've got major problems and you got no idea why, because you can't correlate. And your healthcare practitioner doesn't recognize it because they're not trained to think that there's anything, but it turns out there's a slew of information. So many studies, so much information, so much research on the impact. Just go to drugs.com. Look up your side effects for your birth control. I mean, it's not a mystery. It's really not a mystery why you're not feeling well. It's just about uncovering the layers. And if you've done that enough for people like I have, you start to see the patterns. And then it becomes real clear what the body needs. That's what you get when you work with Naturally Inspired, when you work with me. So head on over today to naturallyinspiredstore.com. Book yourself a free 30-minute assessment. We'll sit down, we'll have a little chat, figure out what kind of things, what kind of obstacles could be keeping you from your optimum health. And then you get ongoing support. You get ongoing support every Tuesday night. We have a weekly wellness workshop. You can join that. You get priority access to my text line. You get a welcome gift. You get 15% off of all these fabulous non-toxic products, on and on and on. It's a no-brainer. So join us today at naturallyinspiredstore.com. Next up, so while this is all going on, so, they've accumulated 1,000 signatures to get Bobby out of the HHS, and, these overweight very ill-looking scientists showed up with white coats on that say "Fire RFK." The typical blue hair, red hair. It's a cult. It's a cult. So many of them have no clue how to curate health, and it's obvious. You cannot hide from it. So that's going on. And then in the media, they're sending out all these little hitmen, right? Check this out. This is a Senator Ossoff on mainstream media. Of course. Listen to him.
Kennedy is demolishing our entire public health infrastructure. It is negligence. It is, I think, willful and malicious in some cases. I think he holds these scientists and doctors in contempt. He has a chip on his shoulder and an axe to grind. And he has no business leading the Department of Health and Human Services.
Have you seen enough? Do you think he should resign?
Absolutely, he should resign. And he never should have been confirmed to begin with. He is utterly unqualified for this role. And in any normal Senate, he never would have gotten so much as a hearing. I mean, this is someone who throughout his public life has embraced just about every piece of quackery and pseudoscience that he's come across. He needs to step down. What he is doing at HHS is gross mismanagement that is putting this nation at risk. And the demolition of the CDC has lowered our nation's defenses against deadly disease outbreak and is putting lives at risk. Secretary Kennedy must resign.
I'm getting COVID vibes here. I'm getting, if we don't get our way, we're going to release something else vibes. Just, hopefully not. Hopefully I'm wrong. But, there's a contributor on one of the mainstream channels that keeps showing up there and keeps, pushing the fear porn about the viruses and how unprotected we are, and run out and get your vaccines and get all your vaccines, even your boosters, get everything. Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. I certainly wouldn't put it past them. This is going to be a big L for them. September is going to be a big L for that business, that industry. The good news is, yesterday I covered that CVS isn't going to be carrying the COVID vaccine anymore. And that's a good sign, because they're a huge corporation and they see the writing on the wall. You see, they need the government agencies to recommend and promote these things, because that gives them a liability shield. And once the CDC doesn't recommend and promote it, well, we're not going to recommend and promote it, because then we don't have any liability coverage, When we can say we're following CDC guidelines, that's just a liability shield that they regurgitate on cue whenever they feel threatened that they might be held accountable for any single one of their own actions. The CDC guidelines said. Ugh. Makes me want to puke. Does Bobby have an axe to grind? Does Bobby have a chip on his shoulder? Oh, brother, you have not even met some of the parents that have been impacted by lethal and damaging products that come from the pharmaceutical model, that come from the very model that you're pushing. The sick model, the disease care model, the barely survive model, the take this pill, the check out, the numb out model that you somehow call healthcare. Very scared. They are very scared. And they should be. They absolutely should be. Let's go to my next clip. This is Senator Ron Johnson, who has been a champion this whole time for vaccine injured and for the truth around these things. Take a listen to this, though. Terrible numbers here.
Breaking the logjam of information of HHS. My committee's got now over 8 million pages of information. Just in the first tranche, by the way, what we discovered is that the CDC, somebody in the federal health agencies, this interagency communication, hid the signal. They admitted there was a signal on myocarditis, and they hid it. They didn't warn the public. They didn't warn doctors. So that's just one instance of corruption and lies told by the CDC. We've got a lot of others we'll be rolling out, okay? So we held our first hearing in permanent subcommittee investigation on that hiding of the signal of myocarditis. We've heard a lot of studies, okay? As I've looked into science, it's been thoroughly corrupted. Here's data, and I'd like to enter this sheet into the record. I've been publishing this chart for, since really early 2021, when I'm on, for example, talk radio shows and they talk about this, they get deplatformed, or they were, because all the censorship in the Biden administration. Here's the facts. The VAERS system that was touted in October of 2020, this great safety surveillance system on COVID, a few months later, when they didn't like the results, they started denigrating their own system. But VAERS shows that there have been 38,742 deaths reported on VAERS worldwide associated with the COVID vaccine. 38,742. 9,252 of those deaths occurred on the day of vaccination within 1 or 2 days.
38,742 adverse events recorded on VAERS. Let me tell you that VAERS is highly underreported. And the reason why it's underreported, because it is hard as heck to make a report. So an analysis of the VAERS system, I think it was called Lazarus, I believe, is the name of the research that was conducted on VAERS prior to COVID, revealed that 1% of vaccine injuries that occur are reported. 1%. So, even if we're just looking at these numbers, though, 38,742 deaths. Over 9,000 of those occurred day of or day after. Let me tell you what happens when somebody gets sick from a bag of salad. 5, 6, 7 people, sometimes even just a couple. That thing is off market. Stay tuned. Up next is your naturally inspired moment. You're not going to want to miss it.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I want to be moving and active for decades to come. The liquid BioCell gives me the confidence that I'm supporting my joints and skin from the inside out. That's from Tom right here in Colorado. Of course, you can get your liquid BioCell collagen from naturallyinspiredstore.com. Support your mobility. Mobility is independence. That is for sure. And that's something I think we don't think about as we're in our 20s, 30s, and maybe we start to think about it in our 40s. But when you hit your 50s, it's like, oh yeah, I really got to do what's right so that I can stay mobile in my 60s and 70s and 80s and beyond. So collagen is a necessity to be supplementing with. Get yours today at naturallyinspiredstore.com. Today's Naturally Inspired moment is about a self-loathing, I guess, is the best thing I could come up with talking about it. You know, how a lot of people are self-deprecating, you know, they're always saying bad things about themselves. And, you know, we laugh and we often find those people endearing and whatnot. But there's a consequence to that kind of self-talk, especially if it's constant. You know, so for today's Naturally Inspired moment, I want to talk about what self-loathing is and how to detect it in yourself. Okay? Self-loathing is that harsh kind of inner critic that whispers, you're not enough, you're not good enough. It kind of hides under your thoughts, your habits and feelings, and it chips away at your confidence and your health. So awareness is the first step towards your transformation, moving away from this self-loathing, self-deprecating frame of mind. So here are 5 ways to detect it in yourself. Number 1, you are comfortable with negative self-talk. You constantly criticize yourself in ways you'd never speak to someone else. And that's a real key component. If you can, what you're saying to yourself, if you would never say that to somebody else, that's a key there in identifying that you may be stuck in a pattern of self-loathing. So, you know, ask yourself just out, you know, would I ever say this out loud to someone? The second thing is perfectionism. This is a big one. If we're not perfect, then it's not good enough. And unfortunately, when you have that frame of mind, nothing's ever good enough. You know, there's always going to be something or somebody to compare yourself to where you can say, see, it wasn't good enough. So at that point, it doesn't matter what you accomplish. It never feels good because you're always criticizing yourself. So ask yourself, do I celebrate my wins? Do I dismiss my wins? Or do I actually pause to celebrate them? And that comes in the form of doing something physically, like celebrating, giving yourself an experience as a reward for your wins, or also even just what you're telling yourself. And I think both. I think you need to do both. I think you need to, have a train of thought in your mind that's like, you're doing great. You had a great week this week. You did well. You did this right. You did that right. Like, really go through a checklist in your head and then put it in concrete by giving yourself something, an experience, maybe, going somewhere nice to eat where you can get healthy food, or spending time with a friend that you don't normally get to do, or going to, do something that you enjoy. Give yourself that physical reward, but also that self-talk reward as well. I know it feels weird, especially as Gen Xers. We're not used to like all that stuff, That's not how we were raised. But it's time to face some of those dark points, because they're not bringing us the results that we need and want. So it's time to really, I get it. You're not Stuart Smalley here, by gosh, I love myself. I get it. It's hard to be that way. But check yourself with your negative talk, right? Because it's not steering you in the direction to the results that you want. And there's nothing wrong with saying and congratulating yourself. Like, yeah, I did well this week. That was good when I did this. That was great when I did that. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's necessary, especially if we want to keep going in the same direction and change the current circumstances that we have. Number 3, avoiding care for yourself. This is a big one. Skipping meals or eating, whatever's kind of around. That's a sign that you're not caring for yourself. Ignoring that you need to rest, or denying yourself joy or joyful experiences because you don't feel worthy. You don't feel like you've earned it. You don't feel like you deserve it. So ask yourself, am I treating myself in ways that shows that I value myself? Or am I choosing punishment? Am I choosing punishment? It can be as simple as we have to do a lot of chores in life, right? Sometimes it feels like, I got more chores, especially when you live on a farm like I do. It feels like, more chores. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. But one thing that I like to do is when I have to do things that I'm not too excited about, cleaning out the cat barn or what have you, I pair it with something that I do like to do. So I pair it with listening to one of my favorite podcasts or a book that I've been really wanting to read or listen to. Or I stack it up with something, that I'm going to do right afterwards or what have you, because it's that keeps you going and doesn't make, life such a thing where it's like one work after the next. Because as adults, especially when you have a family and you have responsibilities, your days can look like that pretty fast if you aren't purposeful with building things in that you enjoy. So you can enjoy even the things, that you don't really look forward to. That's real self-care. Or do you punish yourself and get yourself in a space where you're like, I got to do this and just power through and keep doing it without reflecting that you can enjoy some of these things? What about comparison? Comparison and envy. Do you measure your worth against others? And do you always feel like you're behind? That's a really good sign that you are practicing too much self-loathing. Comparing yourself to others it's never gonna amount to anything good. It's pointless. The best thing to compare yourself to, if you feel like you have to compare yourself, to measure where you're at, compare yourself to your old self. That's where you're really going to find some appreciation for yourself. Compare yourself to yesterday. Compare yourself to the day before, envy's not going to get you anywhere. And the thing about envy is that in today's world, you got no idea what's true. You got no idea what's real. So you're watching people on social media and you're thinking, wow, I wish I had that. Or I wish, my life was like that. And chances are, there's like a grain of salt of truth in what you're seeing. Because as long, I've been a human on this planet for 50 years now, and my life ain't perfect. And crap goes sideways on me all the time, That's life. That's how it rolls. So just because you have a nice Instagram and it's perfectly curated and you're showing everybody your highlight reel all the time, I don't really think that they're that much different than you or I. They still get flat tires. Their cars still break down. Their houses still get messy unless they're not living, It's just what they choose to show. And then we're seeing that on a loop, on speed dial, right? One thing after the other and after the other. So envy's a waste of time. There's no way of knowing, even if what you think you're perceiving has any reality to it whatsoever. So don't waste your time on that. Don't measure your worth against others. Ask yourself, am I letting someone else's path define mine? Well, they did it this way. That's an easy one to do, right? Well, they did it that way and they got this result. And, I can't take that path because I don't have that or this or whatever. You have no idea what that path really looked like either. Because almost everything, especially in health, it's not linear. It goes up, it comes down, it goes around, it drops off, it comes back. It's just nothing, almost nothing is linear when it comes to working through a process and getting better results. Number 5 is self-sabotage. You abandon your goals, you push away good things, or you create chaos when life is actually flowing. Ask yourself, am I afraid of success because I don't believe I deserve it? Awareness is power. Once you can see these patterns, you can choose compassion over criticism. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio. where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm so glad you're joining me today. We've been talking about this Senate hearing of Bobby Kennedy Jr. was in a Senate hearing and being grilled by these corrupt senators. And it was infuriating to watch because, of course, we know they're all bought and paid for. And we know that our entire healthcare system is bought and paid for, and that it's essentially a monopoly. And I want to share with you right off the bat. Speaking of monopoly, isn't Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, aka Pocahontas, she's hilarious. She's not intending to be hilarious, but in this clip, she accidentally exposes the monopoly of our healthcare system. It's remarkable, and she has no clue. She is clueless. I think she just gets her talking notes and gets told what to say and gets out there, and she's all riled up like she's a big tough woman. She's going to go in there and really tell you how it is. Shut up. Just shut up, woman. Seriously. You're embarrassing. Watch this.
6 months of age are eligible to get a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today.
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it, Senator.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS. Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200 or so cost. As Senator Dr. Cassidy said, you are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like this.
And that is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
The question is everyone who wants it. That was your promise, Mr.
I didn't.
Kennedy,
I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said...
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying when you said that? Because you are the one who said you would not take them away. Now, Senator Kennedy,
I'm not taking them away from anybody.
Secretary,
you want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Why is she so mad? Why is she so mad? You know why? Because, you see, we're bordering on communism in this country. And so they need things to be free. The system, the monopoly, right? When they can get money from the government for giving out flu shots that are free, COVID shots that are free, that means all you poor little peasants, you get to go and get your free medical interventions, and the government pays for it. And big corporate pharma gets their money. See, this is a real problem when the CDC doesn't recommend their interventions, their products, because then the insurance company won't cover it, right? Because there's liability here. We need the government. We need the government to shoulder all the liability, because once the government says that something is safe and effective and CDC guidelines, well, then everybody's all comfortable. Because we're not going to get in any trouble if anybody dies, because the government put their stamp of approval on it. And see, what's happening now is that stamp is going away. And so Elizabeth is freaking out because look at this. This is a list of how much money these politicians are making from the pharmaceutical industry. Let's just have a peek at it, shall we? Just a peek here. Bernie Sanders, top of the list. 23,193,451. Oh, Elizabeth's third on the list there. $10,477,000. Oh, look at Senator Wyden. $6 million. Senator Bennett's on there. $3,699,725. These are the same. It's interesting, isn't it? These are the same loudmouths freaking out that I call demons, right? Yeah, my precious is going away. Yeah, you bet it is. You bet it is. 76% chronic illness in this country. 76%. I mean, I could, at that rate, you can just assume everything they're advising to do is wrong. Everything they're advising to do is wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. We need a total rehaul. We're going to get it. We're going to get parts of it. I'm not delusional here. This thing is not going to happen overnight where everything's fixed. No way, because I will say it again. I say it over and over. This is a negotiations. We are in a live, active negotiations right now. This is a business. They have big business invested in this monopolistic model of healthcare. They're not going to just let it go. Right now, they're fighting. They're clawing. Got to save our money. Do you see how she pointed out the monopoly there? See, we need the CDC. No, she said. No. If you don't recommend, then you're essentially taking it away from people. Because the only way that people take their products is if they're free. That's what you're saying. There's no value in it. That's funny because I have to show value in what I do in order to get clients, to work with people, to recommend products. I got to give you value. It's got to be worth it to you. I don't, as a small business owner, I don't know any plumbers that can just get paid for being a plumber. Hey, just like give us some money because we're plumbers. No. They have to bring value to the customer. Plumbers have a lot of value, especially when your toilet's backing up. So what they're asking for here is, and they're acknowledging, is that these products have no value. People won't buy them unless they are free. And their gravy train is our tax dollars. And they do not want that gravy train to stop. It's so upsetting and just so gross. It is, it's got to stop. How can we, I don't think that pharmaceutical lobbyists should even be a lobby. I think lobbying should go away. Where we're not going to get that. But if we really want to clean things up, that's what we should do, is ban lobbying. Let's change gears real fast here. I've got another clip for you I want to share with you. This was an interesting one because, I've been talking to you about this blur between virtual and reality. And let me tell you, these people, the Great Reset people, the globalists, they want to blur reality and virtual reality to the point of where you can't tell the difference in between. And other people are starting to notice it. We're going to have to take a break here in just a minute, so I'll play the clip after the break. But what am I talking about here? As the infrastructure gets built for all of the AI, AI agents, the AI world, the metaverse, they got to get people ready to accept the virtual reality from reality. And they've already started doing that. Because right now in the world that we live in, what's going on in front of your eyeballs doesn't matter. It's what's going on in virtual reality. That's how they were able to pull off COVID. Because most people live through their portal nowadays, otherwise known as the phone. The scroll hole, and whatever's going on there is their reality, not what's actually happening. Stay tuned. someone else is noticing, and I want to tell you who when we come back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Welcome back. I want to tell you about Live O2. Have you heard of oxygen training? Live O2 delivers oxygen-rich performance right at home, helping you boost energy, recover faster, and feel your best at any age. It's like supercharging your body from the inside out. You can learn more at liveO2.com or call Mark at 970-658-2789. Let me tell you, the people are changing their perception of the world. And I think they're becoming more accepting of the algorithm. You know, it's like they're losing their will to express from a human point of view. Let me tell you, just to give you a short explanation of how this was brought to my attention even more. Recently, while traveling through an airport, we took a wrong turn, and we had to go into this parking garage. And there was no getting out of the parking garage. It was a one-way street. So you couldn't back up and get out. There was no turnaround area. You had to go through the garage. And to go through the garage, you had to pay $4. Even if you took a wrong turn. It was listed on the sign, 0 to 30 minutes, $4. 0 to 30 minutes, $4. And we zipped around. We had to go through because we couldn't back up. Zipped around. Thankfully, there was somebody in the little shack at the time. And she said, quick, give me your card. You should be okay. She watched us, she watched us have to turn around that way. Should be okay. She put the card in the machine, and the machine took some time to process what was going on. As long as you are under 5 minutes, the machine may let you go through for free. But what occurred to me is this woman had absolutely no ability to override the machine. And obviously, common sense in the world is like, well, yeah, you took a wrong turn. You gotta get out of here somehow. You shouldn't have to pay for driving around the kiosk, right? But that's acceptable now. That's acceptable in our society. And the thing about it is that the world is nuanced. Humans are nuanced, but machines are not. And what corporations have done is they have made it so that there is no room for human override. And so I want you to really think about this concept, because now apply it to medical situations. And that is why they want to blur the line between virtual and reality. A one size fits all. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's not right, or it's not this, or whatever the machine says. I'm not the only one that's noticing. Joe Rogan had something to say about this. Take a listen.
Simulation.
Yeah.
I'm kind of convinced now.
What, it is a simulation?
Yeah, there's something going on. There's something more to reality than what meets the eye. There's more to it than what you could put on a scale or what you could put a ruler to. There's more to this thing. This thing's made out of like some very bizarre energy that's attached to consciousness. That's what I think.
What do you mean by this?
I think that, I think it's really possible. First of all, it's inevitable that one day they will achieve a simulation that is indiscernible from reality.
Okay.
And no doubt about it.
That's the goal, is to achieve a virtual reality where we don't even acknowledge reality. And I think a lot of us are feeling called back to nature, are feeling that pull back to reality, because this is the goal, to create this simulation of our world where they control all the rules and you're just feeding the system, doing what they say, when they say to do it, and the whole thing just is moving along, even though it's so detached from reality. Does reality matter? It sure does to me. But that's because you and I were born in reality. But the incoming people, they are more and more detached from reality because they spend more and more time in the portal. And that's why, he talks about the consciousness here. That's why I am constantly saying to you, sharpen your consciousness. Work on your higher faculties as a human being. Empathy, right? Work on that. Creativity, joy, laughter. These are the things that machines cannot emulate. And that is what keeps us human. Because it is getting crazier and crazier by the day in terms of the blurring of virtual and reality. Let's go to our health topic, because at 4:30, Bob Greska is going to be joining us, and we're going to have a great conversation about Greska C60. We just talked about him last night on our weekly wellness workshop, so that's great timing. A lot of people wanting to know about detoxing these days. So many different things, that have been going on in the world, of course, that keep us in a soup of toxicity. So you want to stay tuned for that. But right now, I want to talk to you a little bit about comparing vitamins, minerals, and herbs for health. I get a lot of questions about this. So vitamins are organic compounds made by plants or animals, required in small amounts for specific biochemical functions, okay? Minerals are inorganic elements like iron, zinc, magnesium that come from soil and water. And herbs are whole or extracted plant materials, leaves, roots, flowers, seeds, used for therapeutic purposes. So the primary role in the body of vitamins is it acts as a coenzyme or regulators in metabolism, growth, and repair. Minerals support structural functions like bones, teeth, electrolyte balance, and enzyme activity, while herbs often modulate body systems. So they can modulate, you can help your body with immune, digestive, nervous system, and also provide bioactive compounds like polyphenols, alkaloids, or essential oils. And here's the difference between essential and optional. So vitamins are essential. Deficiency causes disease. Lack of vitamin C, right? That's the one that everybody knows. Lack of vitamin C causes scurvy. Minerals are essential. Deficiency leads to dysfunction. Lack of magnesium leads to dysfunction. Magnesium controls over 300 systems in your body. So cramping, even twitching, anxiety, sleep, restless leg syndrome, all, you really need to be sure that you're getting your magnesium in. And of course, lack of iron causes anemia. Herbs are not essential for survival, okay? But they are very beneficial for your health. And they're very beneficial for prevention. And they're very beneficial for signal management, right? AKA symptom management. So this is very important to understand this, because I think people tend to want to use herbs like on a daily basis for long term. And I'm one that kind of uses herbs medicinally as needed. Now, there's some herbs during seasons of life, like perimenopause or menopause, that you do have to maybe take every day. It's all individualized, right? That's not a one size fits all, but there are differences between your vitamins and your herbs, your minerals and your herbs. And it's important that you understand them, because as I always say, like everybody, we can take a whole table full of supplementation here. It's very easy to do. You need to have goals with your supplements. You need to understand what you're trying to achieve with taking them. So it's very important. There's dietary sources in vitamins. Of course, you find them in vitamins, fruits, vegetables, animal products, fortified foods. Minerals are derived from our soil and water and absorbed by plants, then transferred through the food chain. Herbs are consumed directly as teas, tinctures, capsules, or culinary seasonings, which we do not do enough. We are under-seasoned, under-herbed in this country. Regulation in the body. So vitamins stored differently. Fat-soluble A, D, E, or K stored in tissues. Water-soluble CB complex is excreted more readily. Minerals regulated by absorption and excretion. Excess can accumulate or disrupt balance with other minerals. That's why it's important, right, to understand what you're taking and why you're taking it. Herbs. The effects depend on plant compounds, dosage, preparation, and your individual metabolism. So it's not, that these things don't work. They work differently for everybody. You have to have a goal for them and understand what your target is. Coming up next, Bob Greska is joining us from C60, Greska C60. Visit c60.com. We'll be right back.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty, they're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
Welcome back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I want to mention real quick that I'm going to be on with Josh Reed tonight on the Red Pill Project, so don't miss it there. Josh and I always have a great conversation and lots of fun, and it's a great crowd there at Red Pill Project, so make sure you tune in tonight. I will be on there, I think about 7 o'clock Mountain Time, so hop on and check it out. That's the Red Pill Project. Now we have Bob Greska joining us, and Bob Greska is an aerospace materials engineer that changed career paths from building spacecraft to health and human performance. He is the CEO and founder of Greska C60, which is an incredible supplement based on carbon, and that's the essence of life. Bob Greska, welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio.
Hey, Tammy, glad to be here. Thank you for having me on again.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've missed you.
I missed you too. It's been a while. I took a little sabbatical or time off or whatever. So building a house, and it takes a lot of energy and effort and a lot of stress.
Absolutely. But I am so glad you're back. And so we have like a lot of new audience members. So I want to start from the very beginning. Not everybody has heard about Carbon 60. Actually, last night, I did a weekly wellness workshop and we were talking about detox. And of course, I started talking about Carbon 60. And I was kind of surprised that a lot of people on the call didn't know about Greska C60. So this is a great opportunity. Many of them are tuning in today to learn about it. So tell me, what is Greska's C60?
Well, C60, the C stands for carbon, which is a natural element that's found in everybody's body. We're made out of about 20% carbon. All the animals, the beef we eat, the chicken we eat, they're all carbon-based. All the foods, the plants, the vegetables, they're all carbon-based. So everything we eat, so it's not a foreign product to your body. But the difference is that the carbon 60, the C60, that's why it stands for carbon 60. It's a molecule that looks like a soccer ball here, made out of pentagons and hexagons. and it forms a sphere. And these little black dots represent the atoms that form the molecule. And being spherical in nature, like it is, it's structurally strong, so it can give up an electron or several electrons without collapsing. And that's the beauty of the carbon-60 molecule, how small it is. It's like an antioxidant you get in food, except this is 200,000 times smaller in size. So it's much more bioavailable. It travels through your body a lot better, gets around, gets into those places where you have cellular problems that the cells are not working very well because they have free radicals and toxins. Toxins cause free radicals. Your regular metabolism of turning your food product into ATP, which is the energy currency for the body, that also causes free radicals. But your body gets older and it can't get rid of the free radicals as good as it used to. So carbon-60 comes in a bottle, and it's a dropper, it's a tincture. It's a very black liquid, I must tell you, but there's no taste to it. Squeeze it a couple times. That's a serving size, about that much, and you just put it in your mouth. There's no taste. It's clean carbon, and your muscles feel better. Your body feels better. You turn those cells on that have not been working properly.
Okay, so let's put it into context for people too. What kinds of things do people use carbon-60 for and get results with?
Well, for instance, we have a topical mist. This is a spray-on, and you just mist it, and you can see the spray coming out. And basically, you mist that on over muscle pain, joint pain, and so forth. And the carbon molecules are so small, they do penetrate in through the skin, and the water vaporizes, dries off, so you're left with the carbon going into the skin. So people with joint pain, muscle pain, they use a spray. People take it orally for most all health issues are caused by free radicals. So if you give an electron to that free radical, stabilize it, most health issues go away. And I know that's a big claim, but it's true. We see results with it all the time. People could they call in frequently and tell us, well, I've tried it for this, I've tried it for that, and they see results, and it's cheaper than a doctor's visit or buying a pharmaceutical drug at the store. So it's worth it.
How does it work with detox? So I like it when you explain kind of, compare it to charcoal. I know it's way better than charcoal, but I think it helps people understand that. So how does it work with detox?
Well, you have like a car wash sponge, okay? This will absorb water when you put it in water. And activated charcoal, which has been activated, and the activation process is actually making more surface area by blowing holes through it with steam. So you take charcoal and you subject it to steam, and it puts holes through it, makes it like Swiss cheese, so you get more surface area, and that will absorb a toxin. And the adsorption process is like the toxin is positively charged, so it sticks to the carbon activated charcoal, and it carries it out of your body. And carbon-60 works a little bit differently, but in the same way. Similarly, it has to do with that static charge, but it gives an electron to the carbon-60 molecule, to the toxin. And the toxin, it neutralizes the toxin so it can't do any damage. And the damage toxins do is they steal electrons. So if you give them an electron, they can't steal them. So that's how carbon-60 works as a detox. And since there's no more charge or affinity around, or there's no reason for that toxin to stay around because now it's neutralized, it doesn't have any stick, and it's a positive minus attraction, so it just passes through your body.
So you just keep your detox pathways open, right? And if you're taking your carbon-60, there's no, I always it's kind of like a lock and a key type of situation, right? If there's already a key in the lock, then it can't attach. Is that correct?
Well, yes. If it's secured, in other words, you give it an electron, it fills that spot that's empty, and then it can't steal an electron. So that's basically how a toxin works. Toxins are electron stealers that come into your body. So you give it an electron with the carbon-60 molecule, which is a very unique molecule. This has been discovered in 1985, Nobel Prize in 1996. And just at the turn of the century, 2000, they started to use it and test it and do things with it. 2012, I was the sole person who developed a process to produce carbon-60 clean. We're the only ones that produce it clean. We don't have any solvents. We don't have any contaminants in it. I'm a carbon NASA aerospace engineer, so I've got a background in doing science. You know, I've been in science all my life. So,
yeah, let's talk about that a little bit, because there are other. I had seen some purple ones, and I learned that there's a process to getting carbon to the purest point. So talk a little bit about that. Why is your carbon black?
Well, all carbon is black. You know, it truly is. There's other products that have carbon-60, but they use a solvent extraction process, and they use mainly toluene, which is a paint thinner. It's a gasoline solvent. It gives you better octane. And it's toluene. It's a hydrocarbon solvent. And when you put carbon-60, they use that to extract the carbon-60 out of soot. And when they do that, what happens is that the solvent will swell the carbon molecules and swell the bond change the bond angles of the electrons, and it's changed the lattice structure so it reflects the light purple instead of absorbing everything and being black. When you space them apart a little bit, it'll absorb the purple or reflect the purple color. And that's why a lot of these other carbon-60s, they have a purple tint to them, or even a red tint to some of them, which is actually carbon-70. Carbon-60, when it's expanded with solvents, is actually blue, but you have some carbon-70, which is expanded, which is red. So red and blue make purple.
Oh, I don't think you've ever told me that before. That makes a lot of sense.
I don't think I have either.
I learned a new thing today. So what about safety? Can you OD on carbon-60, on Greska's carbon-60?
You know, they tested it with laboratory mice, and there's no legal limit. There's no LD50, as they call it, or lethal dose where 50% of the subject matters die, mainly mice or rats. And so, no, there's no toxicity to Greska's carbon-60. Now, there are with these other carbon-60 because they do have trace amounts of solvents, and it's a trace amount, but it builds up after a while. You know, it takes depends if you're heavy set and you have a lot of fat tissue in your body, your carbon, they'll hide the toxins in your fat cells of your body, so you won't notice it very quickly. But if you're slender and thin and very low fat, people will notice that the toxins become more effective. You know, they hurt quicker.
Okay, when we come back, everybody visit C60.com, C60.com. You can use promo code Tammy, I believe, to get a little bit of savings.
Just check on that.
We will talk dosage, and we're going to tell a lot of stories. So stay with us, because you're going to want to hear this. This is Naturally Inspired Radio with Bob Greska, Greska's C60, C60.com. We'll be right back.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty, they're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code Tammy at checkout for a special discount.
We're talking to Bob Greska from Greska's C60. Visit c60.com. Check out their line of products. We are going to go over their line of products right now. Welcome back, Bob, to Naturally Inspired Radio. Let's go into your product line. I want to make sure everybody knows what you have to offer because it even helps horses, doesn't it?
Yes, it's good for horses. It helps with their hoofs and their foundering problems. And I just want to say, put the www in front of the c60.com and it gets you straight to our site. Otherwise, you get lost in the advertisements. So www.c60.com. But yeah, we have the foundering when the hoofs start to go bad and they have to put the horses down. That's a common problem in these high-end, high-bred horses, and they have to put them down because there's no cure to them, but Carbon 60 corrects the problem almost immediately. The hoofs start growing out normally. We have documented proof showing and pictures are showing before and after with their horse hoofs. And it kind of works. It sounds too good to be true because it works with most all health problems because they all health problems except for mechanical defects like broken bones or things like that. They're all caused by molecules missing electrons, free radicals. So if you get rid of the free radical, the problem goes away. And we've seen that time after time after time after time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you also have one. So you have one in water. I've used the one in water a lot, just for different things with scrapes. I load hay a lot around here. So I often get these little scratches on my arm from loading hay. I spray the C60 on it. It's gone. Like it takes like a day or two and it's totally gone. And my daughter used it on a headache where she just sprayed it. And she doesn't get headaches very often, but this one particular day she had a really bad headache and I thought, grab the Carbon 60 and try it. She sprayed it right on her temples and within 15 minutes her headache was gone. Yeah. So, and I use it every day for detox, just a couple of and I use the one in sunflower oil because it's pure good sunflower oil. It's not, it's not oxidative and all of that stuff. So a couple of the little dropper fulls every day. And I feel like that's protecting me from toxins that I'm exposed to every day. So those are the two, but you've also made it in olive oil.
Yes, we do have an olive oil product too, Carbon 60 and olive oil. Popular perception says that all seed oils are bad. And they're not. It's just the omega-6s that are bad in the seed oils. And even olive oil has omega-6s in it. They have about 15%. And the sunflower oil we use, the omega-6 is down, actually lower. It's about half that. It's about 7.5%. So we use an omega-9 rich sunflower oil, which is a good product. But if you don't like that, if you're skeptical about seed oils, even though, or people that are allergic to sunflower seeds, we have the olive oil product, or we have the oral water product. This is water-based, and you just spray this 5 squirts under your tongue. And I got to tell you, it's you think, well, what does it taste like? It tastes cleaner than water. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, but you spray it under your tongue and you say, it's very clean.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So you don't get any cleaner than that.
No,
sure.
you can. Well, and it detoxes you at the same time. And, and you mentioned horses. We do have pet products for dogs and cats and so forth like that. This one, you just like one spray, you squirt it, it comes out as a stream, and you squirt 1 squirt for a cat, 5 squirts for a large dog. So it's the same sunflower oil product, but it's just in a different delivery system.
And they can put that right on the food?
You can put that right on the food, yeah.
Yeah. And what about your face serum?
We got the face serum right here. This is carbon-60 and squalane oil. Now, squalane is a very high-end cosmetic oil, and it's very good for your skin by itself. But with the carbon-60 in there, you get the free radical damage from the ultraviolet light from being out in the sun. And even if you take the oral product, many people, and there's reports out there that you don't get sunburn. You don't need sunscreens. This protects, it's an actual sunscreen protectant. When you take it orally, it goes in through your body and comes out your skin, and it protects you. But the face serum, this is just 6 drops a day, put it on your face. And in a few days, you're going to notice your skin is so much softer, that leather feeling that you get from the ultraviolet light knocking the electrons off the molecules, making the free radicals in your skin. This restores that in just a couple of days.
Talk to me a little bit about some stories. I know that you love people. I've been at shows with you, and you love having conversations with people. People walk by and they say things like, oh, I've had this problem with my wrist for years. It's never going to go away. And I've seen it. I've been there. I've seen people get sprayed down a little bit with some carbon-60, and then they circle back around and say, I got to get myself some of that, because that's how powerful it is. So let's talk about some of the stories. What are your favorite stories of carbon-60? How has it helped people?
Well, pain's a big thing. If people are in pain, that's an indication that there's something wrong in your body. So if you can correct the pain, you're most likely correcting what's wrong with your body, and that's what carbon-60 does. But some of the stories, like I was at an expo a couple of weeks ago, and this one gal, she had pain, on her bottom down the side of her leg, like a sciatica. And I said, well, here, take the mist here, go take it in the ladies' room, spray it on, and bring it back. She came back out. She says, I can't believe it. My pain's gone by the time she got back, which is 5 minutes or something like that. So pain's a big issue. Talk about toxicity. You got glyphosate, Roundup, that's in all the foods that we eat now, just about. And it accumulates in your body. And I have had one gentleman, I just talked to him yesterday. That's why it came to mind. But he had severe necrosis of his leg because, and we got pictures on the website too that shows before and after. And matter of fact, they're doing a special out in Boston. So he's getting on a Boston TV show. They're going to do a documentary because he was exposed to quite a bit. He worked in a flour mill. And he was exposed to quite a bit of toxicity with the glyphosate that they put on the flour. So he has a good story, and he says, carbon-60, that's what helped me. So.
Wow. What about ringing in the ears? This is a big thing that I get asked about a lot. This is a real problem for people.
There's 2 ways to go with that. You can use a topical mist, the water-based product. You can spray it behind your ear, and that works very well. People have liked that better. Or you can take the oil product, the oral product, and you can put like a few drops in your ear, and then when it wets your eardrum, sit up and then rub what's on your ear, behind your ear, and your skull behind your ear, and just rub it around. And people have reported that the ringing has stopped. I mean, I had a couple people that were stone deaf, and they got their hearing back. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you got to figure, carbon-60 attacks the inflammation. And if you have inflammation around those three bones in your ears that are rattling, and they can't rattle anymore because everything's swollen up. You get rid
Okay.
of the inflammation. It makes sense. I don't know exactly how or why. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm a bit of a chemist and a materials and carbon engineer.
Yeah.
But,
What about allergies? Because we've had some really, I used it this season for me. The very first week of August around here, I get this eye thing, the itchy eyes. And I think it's, because they're cutting things down and things have been sprayed and whatnot. Every year I get a little something. And this year I was grateful that I had Carbon 60, and you told me to snort it, and I did. I snorted it, and it helped so much because my eyes are really itchy during that time.
It'll clear things. Sometimes, I've done it too. I've snorted it. I get congestion or something going on or some allergies, and it doesn't feel bad or do anything. It's not like oil dripping out of your nose, but you want to snort it up there as far as you can, and like a half a serving up each nostril. It'll go up there, and the next day you won't have any symptoms. And many people have reported that to me, and like yourself, and myself too. If I'm congested at night, I can't sleep, and I'm mouth breathing, and your mouth dries out. I'll get up and I'll snort some, take a tissue, wipe my nose, and go back to bed. And within 5 minutes, I'll be opened up. I can breathe.
Yeah. I have another story about allergies too. There's a couple that has struggled. Well, her husband had struggled with allergies with bee stings. And then there was also, he had some gut issues. So some inflammation, I think, in his gut. But he had been working on his gut through nutrition, through probiotics and whatnot. And he ended up getting a bee sting. And they were camping, and this would have been a huge problem in the past, but they used the C60 right away, and they were able to keep it under control, and it wasn't a problem.
Bee stings, hornets, wasps, brown recluse, venomous snakes like we have out here, rattlesnakes in Colorado.
Everybody
toxin.
Visit Greska C60, so C60.com. Make sure you use promo code Tammy. Thanks, Bob. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Tammy.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.